Hello, welcome back to our Ontario network of CAPC CPNP projects. Our 2026 online conference is wrapping up. For our last session, we're really delighted to have Angela and Amy with us, and they are going to talk to us about building strong family connections with conscious discipline. Angie Maxine-Little and Amy Holmes, right, are both joining us from the Peterborough Child and Family Centers. They're going to talk to us about conscious discipline. So over to you, Amy and Angie. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about building strong family connections with conscious discipline. I'm Angie. I support the CPNP program, Babies First. I'm a coordinator. We support pregnant moms and new moms. Our main focus is nutrition. We provide moms with healthy lunch, fresh produce, frozen produce, some pantry items to take home, make sure they're eating very healthy. And we use the conscious discipline with a lot of focus on the adults.
And I'm Amy, and I coordinate our CAPC programs. One of our programs is Families Connect, and we support families with children 13 months up to 4 years of age. Our focus is really on that parent-child attachment, and we help parents navigate some of the behaviors they might be seeing. We also support families with their child's transition to daycare or their transition to school, or sometimes just transitions to other programs in the community or our own early on programs.
Okay, let's pull the screen up there.
Yeah, we'll just share our screen.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. So
Looks good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sydney.
Okay, so our goals today are the overview of conscious discipline. I mean, it's a big program, but we're gonna squeeze it all in and make it an hour long. How conscious discipline is woven into the CAPC and the CPNP programs and in the learning environment. We're gonna highlight concrete strategies that we've implemented and used throughout all our programs. We're also going to talk about the impact and the feedback we've gotten from families so far. And we're going to talk about our learning and next steps because conscious discipline is new to our center. So this is our first year we're putting it all into place. So conscious discipline is created by Dr. Becky Bailey. It's a social emotional learning framework that teaches adults and children self-regulation through safe connections and problem solving. It emphasizes building strong relationships and using everyday moments to help children learn emotional skills and manage behavior in a healthy developmental way. And some of the reasons that at our center, Peterborough Child and Family Center, chose conscious discipline model was because it's evidence-based. It's a multidisciplinary self-regulation program. So even if you haven't had any self-regulation training, she does take you through how that all works and talks a lot about the brain that you heard today from the Merit Center. That is all incorporated in her training. It addresses emotional intelligence of the adults first and children second. Conscious disciplines literacy friendly with clear and very visual content, which is very helpful for families. The curriculum is very customized, so you can take little pieces and pull it out from the curriculum and use them in different ways in your program. So that really met our needs because we can take them little bits out for our CAPC. It's not all structured. It's not a script. It's a very usable, easy program to put in any of our programs. But most importantly, it's designed to empower parents. We're also seeing a lot of our local daycare centers are trained as well in the conscious discipline. So just that whole community speaking the same language, as well as some of our local agencies that um, support families and children, like the health unit, our local health unit, and Five Counties Children's Center. They are all trained in the conscious discipline and talk about it when they come and support our program. So that's very lovely, that consistency across the board. So conscious discipline has three core components of conscious discipline: safety, connection, and problem solving. And this is the brain state model that they use. And we really like this. And I know in the Merit Center today, in their presentation, she talked a lot about the brain. Um, this program does as well, and it talks about, the red zone is the survival state, and the need for safety. And it might look like hitting, fighting, all those things, but what they're really saying is, I'm safe. Am I safe? And so you want to provide them with safety. That's what they need in that when they're in that state. And then there's the emotional state, which is the blue zone. Um, and that's that need for connection, right? It might look like talking back, sassiness, verbal. And what they're saying is, am I loved? I need connection. So that is that emotional state of connect with me, right? And then there's that executive state. The green zone is how Dr. Becky Bailey refers to it. And that is that problem solving zone where, you are calm and you are able to learn new skills and find something new to learn, and you can problem solve anything that comes about. Okay. So today we learned a little bit about self-reg. So self-reg is the ability to manage your thoughts and feelings and behavior in accordance with the demands of the situation. And then you can, when you find self-reg, then you can co-regulate. So you can help your child. And it is the process of one person helping another person's emotional and behavior. So it's you helping your toddler find their calm. So safety is the foundation of which all else is built. It meets the developmental needs of the survival state in the conscious discipline brain state model. Safety requires the adult to be self-regulated. So we're going to ask you a question here, and you can put all your answers in the chat box.
So when we talk to families about self-regulation, like Angie said, it's about the adults first and the child second. We're often asking parents to notice why they're having trouble staying calm in stressful situations, or why they're triggered by their toddler melting down. So we really try to ask parents to reflect and really notice that in themselves. Um, that really helps them pick a tool that works for them. So then we ask parents, so what tools are you already using? Because our parents have so many great tools already, and we do as well. So our question, and we're going to ask this to you today, is what do you do to self-regulate? Or what do you do when your child is losing control, or when you're confronted with a stressful situation? Yeah, what tools are you already using? Or maybe what is a tool that you're offering to parents in one of your programs to help them self-regulate? So that's our question to you. If you want, you can put it in the chat. So I'm going to just stop sharing my screen for a moment just so we can look at the chat.
Chats, yeah.
So we would just, perfect.
Take yourself outside, that's great.
Stop and
Breathing.
breathe,
Breath.
rocking,
Yeah.
calming down, remembering to breathe.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we ask this to parents, we sometimes use something called a Mentimeter, where it generates a word cloud. And sometimes that's just a really nice
way.
visual for parents to see what they're already doing. And it's something that they can take away with them.
Mhm.
This is great.
Mindfulness, self-talk, breathing, exercising, humming.
That's
I
great.
love that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Tapping. Okay.
Tapping, yeah. Slow breathing, yeah.
That's great.
Take space. Drink water. That's what I do. I love when or wash my hands too.
Finger tap.
Finger tapping, yeah.
I see the grounding, the five senses. Yeah. Listening to music.
You guys know what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, see, there's always so many great strategies already. And I think sometimes we just need to be reminded of those in the moment. So that's why it's nice to create a bit of a visual. So I'm going to share my screen again because Angie and I are going to take you through a few breathing exercises that are in the conscious discipline curriculum.
And they're really parent and child friendly. So they're set up so that the parents and the children can do them together. So they're fun, right? And easy to do.
So we're going to ask you to be a little playful with us for a moment. You can do this with your cameras on or off. But yeah, we invite you to do the breathing with us. So there's 3 different breathing strategies we're going to go through today. I'm going to talk you through them, and then Angie's going to be my demo girl. So she's going to demonstrate it, but they're pretty self-explanatory.
So first you want to make eye contact before you do this with a child, right? Make that connection.
So the first one's called star breathing, and in conscious discipline, they refer back to this one often because it's so simple. It really is just the first step is smiling, because when you're smiling in a stressful situation, you're kind of tricking your brain a little bit and reminding your body to relax. You're going to take that deep breath, breathe in deeply through your nose, and move your belly outwards. You're going to pause for a moment as you shift from inhaling to exhaling, and then you're going to relax. You're going to breathe out slowly through your mouth and move your belly inward. So we'll do that again. So we'll take a deep breath in, and we'll pause, and we'll take a deep breath out and relax. It's so simple, but it's a nice little pause before you respond rather than reacting to a situation. The next breathing exercise is called the drain. And so you're going to stretch out your arms in front of you with your palms facing the ground. So your arms are going to kind of look like a faucet. You're going to inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to squeeze and tighten your fists and your arms and your face. Everything's going to get all scrunched up, and kids really love doing that. And you're going to pretend your fists are the drain. That's right. You're going to exhale. You're going to open the drain. Relax your fingers by opening them and making a swishing noise or water noise or whatever noise you'd like to make. And you're going to repeat that as much as needed. So the third one is the balloon. And with this one, you're going to inhale as if you're making a balloon with your arms. You're blowing up a balloon. And you're going to exhale, and you're going to push your lips forward. And you're going to let that air out.
Kind of like a fart.
So you could do it as silly as you like. So we'll do that together. So we're going to inhale. We're going to suck in the air and make a big balloon. And then you're going to exhale and let out that air in a funny fart way. Perfect. Excellent. And when we did this with one family, I remember it was like a husband and a wife, and they were every time they got into a stressful conversation, they would be like, remember that. It was just a way for them to kind of jolt out of that stressful moment or stressful conversation with each other.
And that's another coping mechanism, right? Them being funny and silly and playful. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
So we've talked about safety and the survival state. So now we're going to talk about that middle section and the power of connection. So connection, it's something that we all need. That's why we're here today, even. We have social brains, and we're always looking for that connection and building relationships, and that is what produces optimal brain development. And in children, it really that connection with your children improves cooperation, willingness, impulse control, and resiliency. I like to think of it too as that connection from safety or that emotional or that survival
That state.
state into that problem-solving executive state. So, so you really need the connection to get up there, and we have to do that with our children or the children in our care. There are 4 key factors for making meaningful connection, and that's eye contact, touch, presence, and playfulness. So I'm just gonna switch my screen, and I have a few pictures here from our programs, from our CAPC CPNP programs. So the first element of connection is eye contact. And when we're talking about eye contact, we're with parents, we're talking about getting down at their level. You want to get close to them so that they can see the emotions on your face. And we know that through consistent eye contact, that is what makes them feel that safety and trust.
And that attunement.
That attunement. The next element is touch, and touch is really that sense that we can't live without. And after eye contact, touch is really important for functioning and learning. It's important to provide those moments of appropriate touch as well, just to remind children that they're safe and loved.
Right? So that you've made that eye contact, right? So once they're feeling really, they're in that red zone, that survival zone, you've made eye contact, you're breathing with them. So you're making the eye contact, you're breathing, and then you would touch them, however your child wants to be touched. Some likes cuddling, some likes just a pat on the back, but the parents know the child the best.
And then we talk about presence. And being present in the moment means that your mind and body are in the same place as your child. And it's free from all that other mental chatter. So when we're talking about presence, it can be really a short times with children, but it's device free, and that you're just having those moments with your child. And it's really important to just be truly present, because that's where you're really going to have connection, and that's where the joy lives, and it's important to just relax into that. And the last one's playfulness. We know that play is the world that children live in. They love play.
That's how they learn.
That's how they learn. And it's important for us as adults to sometimes enter that world of play and silliness. So it's a way for everyone included to decrease their stress. And when it's playful and silly, children are going to pay attention longer, right? It's going to increase their attention span. These are the moments where you can really bond with your kiddos. The pictures here on this side are of a circle time that is happening in CAPC, in our CAPC programs. And this is like one of our opportunities where connection happens.
So look at how playful the parents are there. They're in costumes. It's around Halloween, and they've gotten dressed up too. So yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so helping families make connections. In all our Play to Learn programs, our CAPC programs, we set the environment so it's rich for parent-child play, and it gives the parent that opportunity to join in their child's world and see what they're learning and be a part of that. We've woven into our CAPC programs the I love you rituals at circle time and some of the baby doll circle time into them, and the infant massage. These programs are all rich with the 4 factors of making meaningful connections.
Angie was just talking about the I love you rituals.
Mm-hmm.
So I love you rituals came from conscious discipline, and Angie and I put together a 4-week program. Um, each week having like a different principle from conscious discipline. And so in those weeks, there would be like an opening ritual, a closing ritual, and then some songs in the middle that have those 4 elements of connection. So the eye contact, touch, presence, and playfulness. So these I love you rituals are just connecting tools. They're like little social games that help parents or caregivers connect with their infants.
And help children move from, that survival state, the red zone, into the blue zone where they feel safe. And once they feel safe, they can move up to the green zone where they can learn, right? So the I love you ritual helps them graduate right up to that green zone where we can then teach them to problem solve and do what the behavior we want them to do or need them to do.
So while we've created a 4-week I love you ritual program, we do take some of those I love you rituals and use them in our circle times uh, in our CAPC CPNP programs.
So this next video is from our CPN Babies First program. And we do circle a little different. We will sing some songs and then we do a little discussion every week. And so this video here is just one of the I love you rituals on saying hello. And you'll see how engaged the parents are and how much fun it is. So let's check that one out.
On your face, you have a nose, and way down here, you have 10 toes. 2 eyes that blink, a head that thinks. You have a chin, and very near, you have 2 ears to help you hear. Your arms go high, your arms so low, and a great big hug to say hello.
You can hear the babies, they're all loving it.
That was really good, guys.
And the parents really enjoy it too. They really get engaged in it and they have a lot of fun. We'll do something like that, and then we might do another little one where there's some movement, which is the next video here.
Dancing all around the town, dancing on my knees, dancing on my feet, dancing on my shoulders, and dancing on my cheeks.
Hear the children wheeling, but it's meeting all those important connections. There's great eye contact happening there. There's touch happening there. They're present, right? And most importantly, there's some playfulness and they're having a good time, all of them. So
pretty catchy too.
Yeah, it is. And the pregnant moms also join in that. You could see one of them, we have dolls available. So they're actually doing the actions as well and getting ready for when their babies are born. So it's a lot of fun.
And these 2 songs in particular came from the I Love You Ritual book from Conscious Discipline. But we're not just saying that these songs alone are I love you rituals. It can be any song. And we know we're already doing this in our circle time and in our programs. It's just those like little moments where we fully connect with our babies and our children, and it's just a lot more fun whenever you're singing.
Yes, for sure it is. Another great program that's available is the Baby Doll Circle Time, which is a lot of fun. It comes with its own curriculum as well. And we actually have baby dolls, a basket of baby dolls, call it a bucket of baby dolls that we bring to the program. So it's a lot of fun. It is an opportunity to create a healthy attachment and just enhance that parent-child relationship. It increases the positive effect of joy. Um, it utilizes, those important things, attachment, attunement, and social play. But most importantly, with baby doll circle time, we giggle more, stress less, and it helps develop those optimal brain development for children.
And so this program, it's focused like it's mainly for toddlers.
Yes.
So that and our I Love You Rituals, our program is mainly focused on parents with infants. So this is our toddler program. Um, so Angie was saying that the curriculum is provided through conscious discipline, but each week can look very different. It just has, but the beginning is like there's always an opening, there's always a closing, and then there's some connection and fun in the middle. In this program, when we set it up as a session, we had, as you can see in the picture, there are some baby stations around the room. So we put away all the other toys and we've left out some baby washing. There's baby feeding. We had a little car with a car seat. There's like the baby care items. There's like bedtime stuff. So we kept those items in the room because we know with toddlers, they're going to be moving in and out of the circle time. So we wanted to have those baby doll experiences when they left the circle. But we do encourage the parents or the caregivers to stay in the circle time to sing.
The whole time.
To model some of that empathy and the caregiving with the baby dolls. So during baby doll circle time, we practice gentle, caring touches. We sing connection songs together, and we're using kind words like "you're safe," "I love you," and we spend lots of time practicing some of those breathing strategies that we talked about earlier. You can see on the floor, there's a mat with the star breathing, the balloon breathing, the drain breathing. So we have practiced that as well. And this is just an opportunity to build some of those skills of empathy by caring for those baby dolls. So I'll just go through the 3 steps of what our baby doll circle time looks like. It doesn't have to look like this, as long as it has an opening, a closing, and something playful in the middle. And we know that the circle time itself is very short.
Yes. And the curriculum comes with all the different sessions. So there's 6 different sessions that you can incorporate.
So in step 1, this is where we're getting our baby dolls, and we use a simple song. We use the tune, "Oh My Darling." So it just sounds like this.
Get your baby, get your baby, get your baby, time to play. Get your baby, get your baby, get your baby, time to play.
And so the children are playing, and then they kind of stop, and they get their babies, and they come over to sing at the circle with their caregivers. In the middle section, in step 2, this is where we play together. And this is a combination of different activities with the children and the dolls. So again, it can look different, but there is some elements of body awareness. There's connection. So that could be like a peekaboo game or an I love you ritual. And then there's something soothing where we practice that breathing. So in this session, we were singing To the Farmer in the Dell. And again, your baby can be doing anything, but we were doing My baby is jumping, my baby is jumping. This is my baby is jumping. But it could be sitting, it could be dancing, it could be clapping, whatever activity you want to do. The connection activity we were doing was a peekaboo activity. We also took some of those I love you rituals and brought them into this program. And then we had a soothing activity. And for this particular song, it was again to the tune of The Farmer in the Dell. So I'm breathing with my baby.
I'm breathing with my baby. This is my baby. I'm breathing with my baby.
And we practice some of those breathing
techniques.
That's right. And then in that closing ritual, this is where we put the babies away. Just love her little face in this picture. And mom has 10 babies at this point. And this is to the tune of Good Night Ladies, and it's really just bye bye babies, bye bye babies, bye bye babies, we'll play again someday.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the circle time itself looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put their babies away and that's it. And so, like I said, the circle time component is actually very short. But what we're seeing by having the babies in the circle time, we're seeing lots of great things happen outside of the circle.
So some of the things that we were noticing was, the children were feeding the dolls, they were rocking the babies, they were covering the babies up with blankets, they were brushing their hair or my baby's hair or my hair, bringing them to circle on their own, which was really good. We were noticing them mirroring that nurturing language and action with their baby dolls. This shows that they're growing their empathy in a fun way, in a way they get that's in their world, not our world, right? It's them being with their baby. We notice gentle touch and more social engagement, eye contact, emotional language. They are learning how to calm their bodies, how to use gentle hands, and how to care for their friends, and how to feel safe, seen, and valued. When children feel safe and connected, they are ready to learn and grow. They are ready to get to some of that learning that happens in that executive state. So they've moved up to the green zone and they're ready to play. And in circle, when we get to circle and the mums are sitting and the children are playing a little bit, we also take those opportunities to talk about what the brain state model is. And because parents want that information, they want to understand their children and they want to understand how their brains work. And when we explain it to them, we're explaining it, this is how a brain works. Right? And so this is how your brain works too, and this is how their brain works too. So it's it's really a really big component.
Parents really want that opportunity to connect and do some of that problem solving together too. So speaking of problem solving, perfect. So we've talked about the safety and the connection, and this is for those higher level thinking, or like the thinking, the problem solving skills in the executive state. And conscious discipline has 7 key skills that support problem solving. And when we talk about problem solving skills, we aren't talking about skills for the child, we're talking about skills for the parent, for the adult, the caregiver. And so those skills are composure, assertiveness, encouragement or noticing, choices, empathy, positive intent, and consequences. We really love conscious discipline because it focuses on the adult and their response to the behavior rather than the behavior itself. Because we know that toddlers are going to have meltdowns. We know that toddlers can't share. We know that stressful situations are going to arise. So this is skills for the adult. And often this is accompanied by like a conversation about parents adjusting their expectations. And
using the brain state model to make it simple for them instead of them trying to understand that developmental component where their child's at. You can talk to them about, oh, where do you think they are in their brain state? Oh, they're in the red zone. okay, well, what do we need to do to move them up to the blue zone and make them feel safe so that we can then move them up to the green zone? So it's a really great way to do that. So composure is breathing and self-regulation, staying calm so children can borrow our calm. um, Modeling calm under stress. It's okay for us to show stress, but when we show stress, then we need to show them how we calm ourselves. So, that's that opportunity to breathe together. I'm feeling really stressed. Let's be a balloon, you know, and breathe so that you are able to move out of that red zone.
So the second one is assertiveness. And when we're talking about assertiveness, we're not talking, and it sometimes gets mixed up with aggressiveness, but we're talking about giving children clear, calm, positive commands with expectations so that they know what to do. So it's being positive and calm and clear. So an example of that would be put your boots on so we can go outside.
Right.
And Angie and I do this tone activity because sometimes parents they don't they don't hear their tone.
Yeah.
So we have some examples of passive, like a passive tone, an assertive tone, and an aggressive tone. And we have a little game for families to figure out which command fits where. And then have them create their own assertive statements. And the families really like that. They like practicing
Same.
some of those words.
Yeah.
Because
And we always encourage them to practice with their partner, right? Practice on their partner, right? And get comfortable with that assertive tone. And because your partner will tell you if you're moving over to the aggressive zone, right? So yeah, it's really good. And then we have encouragement, using noticing to build internal motivation. So for a toddler, for example, you shared your book with your friend. That was helpful. I really like that was helpful because when we say that's good or that's nice, they don't know what that means. But when you say that was helpful, that's actually an action word. And they feel good about themselves. You're helping them really feel great. Noticing also in conscious discipline talks about feelings too. So noticing your feelings, right? I see that you're feeling really frustrated right now. You wanted to stay a little bit longer at playgroup. It's time for us to go, right? So really helping them acknowledge those feelings and move through those feelings. Choice is another one. So of course, two positive doable choices. You can have your red cup or you can have your blue cup. What would you like today? The choices is something as adults too we like. We like choices.
and it's empowering.
It's very empowering.
With empathy, we talked about that a little bit already, but validating our children's feelings before redirecting, and that's noticing as well. So an example would be, oh, you're sad because that toy broke. Here, let me help you fix it. So just empathizing with your child.
Yeah.
Positive intent is seeing that the child is capable and worthy even during conflict. So it's kind of focusing on what we can do or the solution rather than the behavior itself. So an example is you hit because you wanted the truck. Let's find another way to ask. So it's not punishing or focusing on the hitting or the negative behavior. It's focusing on the positive
and the problem solving, right? And moving them through it, and helping them come up with a solution. That's what we really, really like about conscious discipline. There's no punishment, there's no shame, there's no blaming, right? We're just saying, this is how the brain's working. You're in this state. We need to help that toddler through that state. So there's no shame, blame, judgment, or anything like that.
And that takes practice.
A lot of practice, yes. Consequences, learning through natural and logical outcomes after, of course, a child is calm, right? They're not going to be able to do that until they're in that zone. The water was spilled. Oh, let's get a towel and clean that up together, right? So easy stuff. Okay.
So when we talk to parents about the skills, this is a nice, like, it is a little bit of a script. And from the feedback, parents really like having some words to practice because this is kind of a different, like it's a reframing how we sometimes talk to our children. So they really do enjoy having a bit of a script. And this kind of takes you through the 7 skills in conscious discipline. So a helpful way to respond. So if your child is a toddler is having a meltdown, or if you're confronted with something stressful, this is a good way to start with the STAR. So back to that, smile, take a deep breath and relax, and actively calm yourself first to stay in those higher centers of your brain. So when it's all falling apart, always remember to go back to the STAR.
Always breathe.
Always breathe. Always pause before you respond. And so that's that composure. You can exhale, focus on calming yourself. That connection of touching, rubbing, holding, whatever your child prefers to help them calm down. You continue to breathe. You continue being composed. You do some of that noticing. You want to notice what's happening for your child. Oh, your face is going like, you seem sad or frustrated. So label that emotion that you see.
Because, once we label it and mirror it back to them, they know the emotion that goes with that look on someone's face, right? So you're actually teaching them about feelings.
And you're not judging it, you're just labeling it and validating it.
That's right. Which I think parents struggle with a lot, understanding that, because that's a different way of thinking, right?
And then you say something like, oh, you wanted to stay a little bit longer, or you were hoping for that toy that someone had. So that again is just stating what's true.
Stating the facts.
Yeah,
That's all you're doing is stating that you labeled the feeling, just you've breathed, you've moved into the blue zone, you talked about what's going on, and you've just given the facts.
And if your child is having a meltdown at this point, your job is just to commit to keeping that child safe and just letting them know that your feelings are okay, you're safe, I will keep you safe.
And your job is to stay safe, right?
And then you offer those choices or the redirection, or that's when, if they're calm, then you teach a new skill. So that's when you can do like an I love you ritual, or maybe it's finding a solution like going and getting a toy, or telling them, the next time you want something, say my turn, or whatever the situation is.
And I think parents really wanted this script because it's a new way of thinking, right? We weren't going to do this script, but parents were like, oh, I don't think I'll be able to put that all together. I need to practice that. So that's why we came up with the script.
And we did a survey after one of our parenting sessions, and the parents actually shared that they wanted more role playing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one ever says that.
No one ever says that.
But they wanted more role playing. They wanted more opportunities to use this language because it wasn't something that came naturally to them.
Okay.
So Angie and I have been updating the way we deliver our parent education for the agency with that focus on the parent first, that self-regulation, and then the child second. And considering feedback from our families, we've started delivering most of that programming in person and not virtually. Parents really want those opportunities to connect and do some of that problem solving together. They've really appreciated the breathing techniques and talking about the things that they've already been doing. They liked the noticing and that acknowledging their children's feelings. We had a parent say that a grandparent actually, that really appreciated how parenting is a little bit more, this approach is a little gentler than whenever she was parenting. So that was really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Again, they really liked having some scenarios and some scripts for the different things that were going to stress them out during the day with their toddlers and babies and children.
This is another way we incorporate some of the conscious discipline is in our circle time in our CAPC and CPNP program. You can see on the one mat there, we have the breathing technique and using that. But on this mat, on this picture here on the left, we actually are doing a little circle time here at Babies First, and we're practicing the breathing. And there's one of our community agencies there that is also sharing some of the conscious discipline techniques as well. So yeah, they appreciate that information. They find it simple and easy, and yeah.
And the picture on the right is from Families Connect. And again, we also use that opportunity after our circle time for the parents to chat. And you can see that we're also talking about breathing and composure. And one of the parents in this picture is actually kind of walking us through a strategy that she uses. So
so it's really great when we do these little information sessions at our CAPC and CPNP programs, because we also have the conscious discipline in our mainstream programs. So when our families go to our mainstream programs, everybody's speaking the same language. Everybody is, using conscious discipline at Circle. They know how to participate in Circle. They are engaged in those Circle times as well. And yesterday we had 3 families in one of our Play to Learn programs from our CAPC CPNP program. So to us, that's a huge goal that we always try to achieve. And I think conscious discipline has moved us towards that goal, being successful. Okay. And so these are our little nuggets that we call them little nuggets, those little education components from our conscious discipline curriculum. And the nice thing about the curriculum is you can pull any of these out and use them. And there's also some free little these free nuggets or little pieces of information available on this free website that you can always go and check out. But these are some of the great things that we talk about in circle time, like the brain state model. The DNA is always a good one. The ABCs for little ones, that's the one I focus on a lot in Babies First. It's about the breathing and the importance of that. So yeah, and the assertive requests. So they're great little handouts.
The conscious discipline social media is also very good for having those little nuggets. So it's worth checking out too.
Checking out for sure. Okay, and so we're going to start a video here, and it's just going to show you how our staff have gotten into practicing the conscious discipline. Every month we have a frontline team meeting together, and we actually practice and share all the different ways that we use conscious discipline. So this is just a little video that'll show you how we're doing the I love you rituals. Just fun.
They were wondering what we were going to do with these videos. So
yeah,
here it is. Here it is, staff.
Okay. 3 nice mice, 3 nice mice. See how they care, see how they care. They hold hands and give a shake. Smile together and friends they make. Turning around for goodness sake. 3 nice mice, 3 nice mice.
Yay. So that's just a fun way of us sharing what we're doing and practicing with one another.
And I just want to say that we gave the staff like this they've never heard this song. and we gave them the lyrics to some different songs from the I Love You Rituals book, and we made them come up with their own tunes, and they had to present it, and we took videos. So this is what they came up with. So we're very fortunate to have an amazing staff who likes playfulness as much as we do.
Yes.
So that's how we're sharing our learning with the rest of our team. We do, like Angie said, this is kind of happening in real time. It hasn't been very long from the time that we did our conscious discipline training until since we've been to us implementing some of it. So we still have some next steps. We use Story Park, which is an app for child cares and for us to document our learning. So we do have some learning tags where those are like the skills from conscious discipline. So whenever we're doing a piece of documentation, we can post it to Story Park and have a tag that describes, oh, in this picture, this person is using breathing strategies. This is a skill, the skill of composure. So the little tag talking about the learning that's happening with the conscious discipline principles. Another thing we're doing, we've created a safe space in our environment, which is a room downstairs for self-regulation. So it is a quieter room with some of our breathing strategies from conscious discipline available for families to use if their child is feeling a little dysregulated and they need a space that's free of all of the sensory stimulation in the room, they can go to that space. So we're in the process of creating that. We're also working with our social media team to create some posts for social media and some reels with interactions with families and using some of the key principles from conscious discipline. So we're in the process of doing some of that too. So we're always trying to find new ways to engage families and get them conscious discipline out there. We've also been doing some feedback, like some surveys and getting feedback from families. So really seeing what they want to.
Yeah. And if they, if they like it.
And if they like it.
Yeah, and they do. So we're on the right track.
And just talking about social media, if you are interested in seeing what programs that we are offering and you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can see the programs that we're offering and some of the conscious discipline material once we've created it.
So perfect. That leads us into saying, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box and we'd be happy to answer them. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So any questions? I did see somebody posted on our board about shareable resources. And then I did share that link, the free-for-all ones. But I'm sure if there are others, I'm sure people would be interested. And I also see Lori has posted, where did you get the training?
So through the Conscious Discipline website.
Yes.
So our agency has purchased a membership. So we have done the training as an agency. So
all the staff have been trained, even our supply staff.
So we did it virtually. So if you go to the website, you can find the information there.
Yeah. Okay. That's theconsciousdiscipline.com.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. Any other questions? Feel free to also unmute and if you want to ask a question. I'm seeing lots of gratitude in the chat and on the board. Yeah, I'll say that I think it was actually quite perfect that the two of you came and are wrapping up this conference for us, because you just bring a wonderful sense of the on the ground working with families and in your community, kind of taking all these wonderful ideas that we've been hearing about and just hearing your experiences in your programs has been just a wonderful way to kind of bring the focus then in taking all that we've learned and then what does that mean for the work that we do with families. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
I'm
so
not
much.
seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. My watch started talking to me there. Talk about little hiccups. So I think that brings our session to an end. Any final comments that you have?
No, it was great
Okay.
presenting today.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah.
having us.
Excellent, thank you. And with that, we'll bring our recording to an end. If I can remember how to do that. Here we go.